Hi, Jacalyn here with Zenith Home Loans. Today, I wanted to talk to you about the Zenith Certified PreApproval and why it's different. Here at Zenith, our main priority is to make sure that you as the consumer is not going out shopping without knowing with 100% certainty that you're going to get a loan. So as soon as you find your dream house or your perfect home, that home you're going to raise your children in, or that home you're going to retire to, that you know there's not going to be any problems with the financing. You might think, based on past experiences or maybe some stories that you've heard from friends, family, or even in the media, that's not possible. And I'm here to tell you it's just not true. We can do a whole bunch at the front end of your transaction at any time to make sure that we've got all of our bases covered, that there's no questions in underwriting, and that your loan will just sail through all the way to the closing. So how we do this is we have a conversation with you up front before you ever start looking at homes. I know that's difficult because the shopping is the best part, but you wouldn't go shopping for groceries if you didn't know how much money was in your checking account. Well, same is true when you're buying a house. We want to know what you qualify for. Oftentimes, what you're comfortable with monthly is higher or lower than what you actually qualify for. So it's important to know where your threshold lies. You might be comfortable at a $2,000 per month house payment, but you actually qualify up to $3,000. And so sometimes we want to take a look at, okay, what if that payment was $2,050 or $2,100? What does that do to our purchase price? Does that get us into the home that meets all of those top 10 things that I need for my home? Maybe it doesn't, or maybe we need to adjust our parameters down. Maybe there's something we can do with credit. And so part of our pre-approval process is to have that initial conversation about what are your goals? What are we hoping to accomplish? How long do we think we might stay in this property? What's motivating us to move? And what do we want our long-term financial goals to look like as well? Because it's important for us to consider all of these factors when we're setting up your loan structure. 20% down may not make sense in a lot of cases. We might want to look at a smaller down payment, or maybe we want to make some other adjustments and just see what program makes the most sense based on our current financial goals for today and into the future. Because not one loan fits all clients. So we want to make sure that we're customizing this for you. Once we get through that piece of the conversation and kind of starting to put that game plan together, we figure out, well, what's your timeline? And when we talk through your timeline, maybe you have a lease that's expiring, maybe we need to move right away, maybe we've got the luxury of time and we can kind of play around with some options, explore the market and things of that nature. So those pieces will come into play as well. Once we finalize those particular items, then we look at, okay, what do you actually qualify for and what loan terms should we set up for you based on that information? So now we're going to look at your credit history, your monthly payment obligations that would show up on the credit report, like credit cards, student loans, car payments, things of that nature. We're going to look at your employment and income history. What type of an employee are you? Are you hourly, salary? Is everything commission? Are you a W-2 employee? Are you a 1099 contract employee? Do you own your own business? All of these factors play into the loan type that you qualify for, and then we have to look at your overall history as well. And then we look at where are those funds for closing coming from? Do we have a family member that's being overly generous and going to give us all of our down payment funds? Are we drawing against our 401k accounts? Are we tapping into a trust? Or are we just tapping into our checking and savings? Or maybe we want to utilize some down payment assistance. So all of these factors come into play, and all of these loan programs are just a little bit different. Now, once we put all of these pieces together based on that particular set of criteria, as well as what you've told us you want to qualify for your monthly payment, that helps us kind of back into a purchase price, a monthly payment, and our total cash out of pocket. Because when we're looking at our total cash out of pocket, we're also looking at your closing costs and your prepaids. So it's not just what are you able to come to closing with for your down payment. We need to factor in all of those other costs too, that sometimes first-time home buyers forget about. And so once we get all of those pieces plugged in, then we certify your pre-approval, we run you through automated underwriting, we double check your credit, we verify your employment and your income directly with your employer. Now we know we've basically done a pre-underwrite of your file, or we can take it a step further and do a full underwrite of your file. That way we know with 100% certainty we're going to get that loan for you. So much so that we guarantee it, meaning if we issue pre-approval for you and you go under contract and something shows up in your credit profile that I missed, like some kind of credit debt obligation, something wrong with your income, or maybe there's an issue with your employment history, and for some reason we can't close on that loan, I'm guaranteeing my work. So if we have to terminate, I will reimburse your earnest money up to $10,000 if we lose it. So if we don't cancel the contract on time, we'll also refund any short-term moving expenses that you had to pay for out of pocket, like movers, your home inspection, your appraisal. So I don't issue those pre-approvals lightly, and we're basically setting up a scenario that your offer, even though we're not paying cash, it's as good as cash because we know it's 100% going to close. So that's the difference when working with myself and Zenith Home Loans. And I hope this is helpful information. I pride myself on educating my clients, and I look forward to educating you and helping you find your new home. Thanks.